Energetic boundaries. Imagine there's these boundaries where if people cross them, if they come over to your side of the boundary and they're trying to take your energy, you then say, hey, nope, I don't allow that. But imagine you don't set those boundaries. Imagine what happens is then people assume that your energy is meant to help them. Your energy is meant to feed their reality. Your frame is meant to feed their frame. Now, the unfortunate thing is that unless we set energetic boundaries, people will continue because we've primed them, we've allowed them to take our energy, to overstep what we allow and what we don't allow. And until we set boundaries, this will continue to happen and we'll continue to get that reflection in our life. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you 5 reasons why you must set energetic boundaries and how to do that. It's actually very simple, but once you start doing this, it will change your entire life. And in this video, I believe that you'll finally make that choice once and for all. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5, not 10, but 5 reasons you must set energetic boundaries. Now, first off, let me explain to you a little bit of where I was not that long ago and what it's like now that I have set energetic boundaries. Let me first off preface this. There is a difference between energetic boundaries and outer boundaries. Now, energetic, think of inner, I-N-N-E-R, energetic instead of energetic. But the difference is when we, let's give this a little bit more preface. When we feel like people are overstepping our boundaries and we don't have those inner boundaries, we then have to set outer boundaries. Outer boundaries is when we tell somebody, hey, this isn't okay. I don't allow this. That's where a lot of people are afraid of setting boundaries. They're afraid of telling other people what's okay or not okay. They don't want to necessarily go into that tension. But here's the thing. If you become very centered inside of yourself with your inner boundaries, you won't have to set outer boundaries. You see the difference there? So the key is that if you start to really get inside your own body, you start to really kind of have this natural respect for your own energy, you'll find that energetically, people feel that off of you. You don't really have to have that conversation, at least as much. The problem is that many people have been primed into taking your energy or into you allowing them to do certain things, so therefore they, in a way, have a pattern of it and they kind of expect it, or they think that if you start to establish boundaries, it's just an act or something like that, and they don't buy it. But here is the main part of how to go about this. So this is where I was. I found myself, if friends wanted to hang out, or if friends wanted me to come to their party, their birthday party, or if people were having a bad day and they wanted me or wanted my help, I'd feel obligated. I'd feel like, in a way, it was almost like their happiness was my happiness. And I found that there was this pleasing mentality that I had that felt like I was losing myself. And really, I didn't know who the self was. I would associate my level of feeling good with how other people felt. So I would then I thought it was my responsibility to then make other people happy. And in this process, I'd feel very inauthentic. There were times that I'd want to say what I really felt, but I'd hold myself back because I didn't want to go into that tension. Or there'd be times that people would want things from me and I would feel this obligation and inner pressure that I had to do it, or I would lose their love or validation or support. And it felt very conflicting. It didn't even seem like an option to me if people wanted me to come do something. For example, I've had times before where I was very busy, but I had a friend's birthday party that was 5 states away. And instead of seeing it as an option for me to say, you know what, I'm very busy with stuff that I'm doing, I ended up driving 3 or 4 days. It was a long process. It was a whole day drive, and then it was this big travel thing. I was putting my own business to the side, my own needs to the side, so that I could go because I felt obligated. And it was this inner pressure I felt, and I just automatically went. I didn't even know there was an option for me not to go. Now, what's happened is I've gone through a transformation over the last couple months, and now what happens is I go inside of my body and I'm able to decide, do I want to do this? And if the answer is no, there's no problem with saying, you know what, I love you, but this is what I have to focus on right now. It's almost like a whole new world, like in the movie Aladdin. It's like a whole new, you know what I mean? But the reason it's like that is because I didn't see it as an option before. Before it was, I have to. There's this inner pressure I need. If I let you down, then I let myself down because I don't know the difference between myself and you. I identify and take responsibility for everyone else's emotions. But now there's more authenticity there. There's more of a filling up my own cup before I can fill up other people's cup. And the interesting thing is that since doing this, I have more respect from other people. It's like almost like people respect me more because I have my own boundaries. People recognize that I don't feed into guilt. If it's like, oh, you didn't come do this or something, it's very easy for me to see, well, I need to fill up my own cup before I can add to other people. So now there's almost like an unapologetic level of me just being myself, but now people respect that more, and it just feels more authentic. Honestly, it feels more authentic. I'm more polarized now within myself and more unapologetically me. So that's the difference. Now, what is it that makes the change? Well, basically what it is you have to make the choice to set boundaries. That's it. You have to make the choice. Now, the 5 things I want to share with you are reasons to help you make that choice. Now, when we say that letting go is hard, if you're letting go of like caring what other people think, letting go of a people pleaser, the only reason it appears to be hard is because part of you hasn't made the choice. Part of you wants to make the choice, but the other part of you is afraid that if you do that, people aren't going to love you. People aren't going to accept you. People are going to then resist you. And then there's an association with identity with that to where then you feel bad because other people may feel tension and you feel what other people feel because you're so empathic and stuff. So really, what this is all about is this is about making the choice. You know, think about it even. If you are letting go of an old relationship, now it's so hard to let it go. Well, really what's hard to let go is your reasons. It's hard for you to make the choice to let go because part of you is afraid that if you do let go, you're never going to find love again, or then there's bad stuff that's going to happen, or is your one shot at love. I mean, that's literally the way the mind thinks. So the key to this is making the choice. Now, here's 5 reasons you must make that choice. Now, first off, you've thought it is your responsibility to make other people happy. And because of that mentality, you've then lost and you've abandoned yourself. This is a lot of times the childhood trauma that has people abandon themselves so that then they can make other people happy. That's what happens. People pleasing. It says, if I can make you happy and you feel good, then I feel good. We've then tuned ourselves to other people rather than tuning ourselves to ourselves. So when we're growing up, many times people pleasing comes from parent pleasing. So at the parent pleasing saying, okay, you want me to do this? I will do this because I feel like I have to. It's my responsibility. Parent guilts you into doing it, or you don't get love unless you do it. And you then abandon yourself. So a lot of people are afraid of being abandoned too. Maybe a parent abandoned you growing up emotionally or physically, and then you try to change yourself so that you can receive that same love. So one of the reasons you must set boundaries and make the choice to set inner boundaries or outer boundaries if you need to, is that if you don't, you will continue to live for other people. If you don't, you will continue to spread out your energy. It will continue to drain your energy. And you won't know why you feel so drained. You won't know why you feel so depleted. And it will just keep that pattern going. So imagine yourself. Sometimes pain and pleasure is a way of us making a choice. Imagine yourself in 5 years from now. And imagine you just keep giving yourself. You just keep giving to other people, even when it's not authentic. You keep just giving. Imagine how depleted you feel. It's life energy, life force energy that's being depleted. The more you imagine that, the more you see in 5 years from now that you'd be even more depleted, even more the energy to be sucked out, you can then see, well, okay, this actually isn't serving me. But you can make that choice now. Unless you make the choice now, that's your future. When I was working a 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes, I remember I thought to myself, I work with all these people that are older than me that are selling shoes that are not passionate about it. That's my future if I stay here. I don't want to be that. So then I started making daily videos on YouTube. So pain is a very powerful way of motivating you to set inner boundaries. I'm going to tell you how to set those as well. It's very powerful and it's very simple. The second thing is people will not respect you unless you have your own inner boundaries. If somebody is able to come up to you and kind of like take things from you or demand from you and you keep saying yes, you have trained them into that behavior. You've allowed it. Sometimes people have this kind of mentality. It's like, well, this person did this to me. You let them. You let them do it to you. And then because you let them do it to you once, you then justified it and let them do it to you over and over and over and over again. So the key to this is eventually realizing that people won't respect you because you're not respecting yourself. So respect, it's funny, as I've become more authentic and as I've said things I want to do and I go in my body and I feel, do I want to go to this thing? Do I want to do this? And people maybe want me to do what they want because it benefits them. I say no, they then almost respect it even though it's more polarizing. It's a funny thing. Tension's a good thing sometimes. A lot of people pleasers, people that don't set boundaries, they got shitty tension. They don't like feeling tension. And that's why they have crappy boundaries. So that's another part of this process that's very important to understand, is that respect literally is gone unless we respect ourselves. So that's the second reason that you want to set energetic and outergetic boundaries. The third reason you want to set energetic boundaries is that if you don't, you will constantly be feeding into other people's frame. So imagine like I couldn't say no to going, taking a day and a half trip to someone's birthday party, even though I had a lot of busy business stuff going on. Then I'm feeding someone else's frame, and what happens is I'm not feeding my own frame. So you might find yourself constantly giving and constantly doing things at the expense of yourself, but think about this as frame. In order to be successful, I found you've got to be in your own frame. Which means being in your own almost vision for what you want to experience in your life, building that vision. And the more you deplete your energy, the more that you are siphoning that energy out for other people because you haven't set boundaries, the more that energy then can't go towards what you want. I know even for myself, think about it like becoming successful for me was a balance of also having boundaries with what kind of things I was doing. I used to smoke a lot of cannabis. It's not inherently bad, but for me, it would deplete my energy. I would do it and I'd feel very kind of just lethargic and I just want to sit around. I was cool with not taking action. But what happened is when I quit, I then had all this energy, this life force energy that came back to me that then allowed me to create something magical and to have more energy going into that. I found that success takes quite a bit of energy being streamlined towards a vision. Now, if I didn't have boundaries and said, you know what, it's okay that I do this. It's okay that I'm around people that are draining my energy. It's okay that I have bad influences in my life. Then guess what? It's constantly depleting my energy and it's like I can't actually build that momentum. So you might have to say no to substances. You might have to say no to different foods that weigh down your energy. Energy, the food you eat does affect your energy as well. So it's something to definitely think about. Now, the fourth reason you must set energetic boundaries is that you become the 5 people you're around the most. Now, when I was first getting on YouTube and I started making daily videos on YouTube back in 2017, I'd have friends that say, hey, come hang out. Come do this, come do that. And I would say yes. If I did, then I would be then saying no to my vision of going full-time on YouTube, and I would have never actually got momentum. I realized that the 5 people I was around the most, if they're smoking cannabis, if they're drinking, if they're partying, if they're not doing much of life, if they work 9 to 5 jobs they hate, then that's not actually fueling my life or my energy. So if you don't have those energetic boundaries, then you're not going to be able to then create your own frame to then attract people that do resonate with your new vibration, your new way of being. Now that I am in this high vibrational state and I do what I love, I have a lot of high vibe friends, people that are also successful, that love what they do, and it fuels me to be around them. So realize that the 5 people you're around the most are affecting your energy, whether you are aware of it or not, and be aware of what that is and to set those boundaries. Yes, it kind of sucks at first, but if they are mad at you, then that's conditional love. They're saying, I only love you or I only accept you when you're around me. Instead of realizing that you must love yourself first And then I have friends that even to this day, they still just respect and they love me, and they know that I had to take a step back so that I could then go towards that vision. And the ones that don't, well, they don't. I was feeding their frame, and if I wasn't feeding their frame, then that love's not there. That's conditional love. So this is a part of that as well. Now, the fifth reason you must set boundaries is, and this is going to be also the cure, okay, is that if you don't, nobody will. Nobody will. You might have that one friend that steps in every now and then and says, hey, that's not cool, but they're not going to be around all the time. So the key to setting inner boundaries as well is this. I have found that being in your own frame and being in your own body is the same exact thing. The body is the subconscious mind. When I started doing a simple meditation practice, and if you want me to make this meditation on the simple meditation practice, like this video and comment below and ask me and tell me, that you'll want it. This meditation is so simple. Staring at a candle flame, breathing in and out. On the in-breath, you feel the separation between you and the candle flame inside of your own body. And on the out-breath, you feel yourself connect to everything around. That's just a shadow integration exercise. But what this does is this helps you to feel inside of your own body, inside your own self, inside your own frame. And as you feel the separation between you and the candle flame, you and the walls, you and outside, you then feel in your own frame, it feels powerful. You can then feel that this frame, this body, is the boundary between you and the outer world. Now what happens is it's almost like the reality itself is zeros and ones. It's like the Matrix. Zeros and ones. There's zero. Let's say that 0 represents oneness and 1 represents self. Okay? We're both, the duality of this planet is that we both have an individual experience, but we're also all connected. Now, I know that I've done a lot of meditations before, like, let's connect our heart fields together and feel the oneness. That's great and everything. But actually, what's also very powerful is feeling the separation between you and other people. Because as you feel the separation, you feel the boundary. Then you start to ask yourself, oh, this is what I feel. Oh, that's your stuff, not mine, if somebody's trying to project onto you. If you're a coach or you're trying to be a coach or something, and every time you talk to someone, you absorb their energy, it's because you've literally identified with their energy and not been able to feel the separation. So it's good to feel the connection, but it's also good to acknowledge the separation. So this has been one of the biggest things, is feeling that. And there's some magnetic quality about it. The more I go into my body when I'm walking around, not needing other people to validate my reality, say hi to me and stuff, and I'm just in my own frame, it's a different level of magnetism that is like magic. It's very hard to describe. But anyways, this has been the key for me, is understanding this energy dynamic. If you want me to make that meditation, click the link, or like this video and comment below, let me know. I'm thinking about making it. If enough people do that, then I will do that. But other than that, these are 5 reasons to make the choice. Making the choice is very easy. It's just that you realize that even though it might not feel comfortable, it's just because you haven't done it before, so it doesn't feel familiar. But as you do that, you will then find that you have more magnetic quality. It's easier for you to say no or to say yes, but you do it from a point of choice. And then you'll feel more empowered, and you'll start creating reality in a very powerful way, because you'll be using authentic energy, plus you'll be feeding your own frame. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Peace, much love, and namaste.